Hey all, here at OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at the HyperX ChargePlay Clutch. This is an interesting accessory for smartphones that improves the ergonomics of your gaming experience. It does integrate a power bank, hence the ChargePlay name. In fact, it supports wireless charging using Qi, and the battery capacity is 3000 milliamp hours, so it should give you about one full charge, getting you a few extra hours when on the road. So this is what it looks like in terms of a wired mode, and the battery pack is actually modular, so you can remove it if you don't need to charge up your device. It makes the grip a little bit lighter. So taking a closer look here, the construction quality is made entirely out of plastic, but it definitely feels rather hefty just because of the added power bank unit on the rear here, which is magnetic and detaches pretty easily. It has these 3-contact pogo pins that kind of snaps into place and then provides power. But essentially the wireless charging Qi coils are integrated into the clutch itself, but then the battery part is actually detached. So without this little module, the entire clutch feels a lot lighter. Now the top here also features a Type-C input, so if you're at home, you can just plug this directly into the wall if you still want to have a pass-through wireless charging when you're gaming, but you don't want to use the battery pack. Finally, on the front, we have some foam padding that prevents the phone from getting scratched when you're using it, and the entire controller here can actually be kind of pulled apart to accommodate phones up to 7 inches. Now, the battery pack itself is quite simple. The top here features a Type-C input if you want to charge up this power bank essentially, and there's also an LED status light that you can tap on to see how much juice is remaining. 4 LEDs. It basically operates as any other standard power bank that just fits into this clutch, so there's not too much to discuss here. There's also a full-size USB port if you want to, again, use this as more of a conventional power bank. So if we pop the battery pack here, you can see the LED light here blink a few times, and when it stops flashing, it means that it's initialized and ready to be used. So just as a quick demo here, I have a Samsung Galaxy S8. I'm just going to snap into place, and almost immediately you can see it begins to charge. It's quite sensitive, and there's really no connection issues once you pop it into the clutch. So we've got a title here that's loading along, and again, it does make the entire experience feel very comfortable as far as holding it. Just feels quite ergonomic. It's not quite as stiff as holding your phone, which if you have a device that has smaller bezels, sometimes you have to be careful of how you hold it, and other devices that have, really thin profiles or sharp edges, it can cut into your hands, and if you're kind of gaming for extended periods of time, add some stress. The only thing I will say is, first of all, because it isn't a real controller, you're still relying on the on-screen controls. Doesn't really get in the way of accessing it with your thumbs, but if you're looking exclusively for a controller, for more precise navigation and control of certain games, maybe like PUBG, again, this is not going to be exactly the same. It's still relying on you to touch the screen of your phone itself to interact with the game. So say we wanted to, again, charge it with a device that doesn't support wireless charging. All you need to do is plug in the USB port onto the top, use it as kind of a direct power bank source, and the side still allows us to plug in our cables onto our phone, and really it works as expected. If you have Qi, it's going to be the most ideal though, just because although it's charging your phone, it does provide kind of a wire sticking out from the side that still is okay in terms of ergonomics, but sometimes can get in the side of your hand a little bit. If you have something like a desk nearby, you can detach the power bank and still have it function in terms of charging as long as you have this cable connected. So in the wired mode, it just continues to charge, but maybe we can pop it onto a desk somewhere, and this will make the controller feel more comfortable as well because it's lighter. It is extremely comfortable and feels super responsive. Doesn't really get in the way of anything at all. It just feels a lot more natural. You can use it for extended periods of time, and it definitely enhances the experience a little bit if you are trying to use your phone for again, a more ergonomic feeling when you are gaming. It gives it kind of a controller feel without, again, adding physical buttons. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of the HyperX ChargePlay Clutch, an interesting accessory for those aimed at mobile gaming. You want to game for longer stretches of time without feeling fatigued. offering longer game time without the battery draining as quickly. They're all pretty nice touches, and it's a neat kind of two-in-one idea. With that being said, it doesn't add physical buttons, unlike some other Bluetooth controllers we've seen in the past, but I do like the overall design here, as long as you're comfortable with still using the on-screen controls of your device. But nonetheless, it's an interesting accessory if you're looking for a way to slightly improve on the ergonomics of your gaming experience. You can check out more details if interested in the links down below. For now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the HyperX ChargePlay Clutch.